So good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for taking out the time to join us today. On behalf of IntelliDB, I, Surbhi Singhal, welcome you all to the session on From Chaos to Clarity, using AI to automate database maintenance. I hope you all are having a good start of the day. Before we begin, let me take a quick minute to introduce IntelliDB and set the context for today's discussion. IntelliDB Enterprise Private Limited is proudly recognized as India's first Make in India database company. IntelliDB empowers organizations to unlock their full potential through a modern, enterprise-grade PostgreSQL platform built for high performance, reliability, and large-scale operations. And I'm happy to share that IntelliDB is rapidly gaining adoption across enterprises and government sectors. We are a US registered company with headquarters in Gurugram, development center in Bangalore, and presence across multiple cities in India. What makes this especially relevant to today's topic is that IntelliDB Enterprise is designed to simplify database operations. As databases grow in complexity, the shift from manual maintenance to intelligent automated operations is no longer optional, and that's exactly we'll be exploring today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Jayaraj S. He is the co-founder and chief technology officer at IntelliDB. He's an industry veteran with over 20 years of experience in the field of database management. He's an ex-EDB and ex-Oracle. Currently, as the CTO of IntelliDB Enterprise, Jaya leads the company's end-to-end data technology vision. With deep expertise in data engineering and system design, he is driving the development of cutting-edge solutions at IntelliDB that has positioned us as a strong database management solution OEM in the market. We are excited to have him share his insights on how AI is transforming database maintenance from reactive firefighting into proactive, intelligent operations. So Jaya, before I request you to start your presentation, can I ask a few questions from our audience? And I hope this is going to help you in addressing the audience better. So I am going to open up some poll questions. I'll be launching a poll. So just give me a minute and the poll question will be in front of you. Our first question goes here. You'll be seeing this on your screen. We would like to have your responses on this question. Which database do you primarily work with? I hope you all are able to see this on your screens now. Great. So I've got the responses. 45% of people are saying PostgreSQL. Good to know that. So now the next question that we have, what is your biggest database maintenance challenge today that you are facing? I'm going to launch this. The next question comes to you now. I hope you are able to see this on your screen. Just a minute. Okay, the second poll is live now, and you'll be able to register your responses. Okay, so 100% people are saying scaling under high load. Then we are also getting a second option as monitoring and incident response is again the second highest challenge that people are facing. Great. Now I am coming up with a third poll question. How familiar are you with AI-driven database automation? It goes live now, the third one. You can all register your responses now. Okay, so most of us, those who are present, are at the beginner level. They are exploring, and there are experts also, intermediate levels also. That's great, a good mix of people that we have today here. So Jaya, I think you have your hands full, and we have a good mix of people, experts also joining in. There are people, those who understand this already, and there are beginners also and intermediate also. So now Jaya, that we are done with this poll, we can move forward, I think, and you can take us from here and walk us through how AI is bringing clarity, automation, and efficiency to modern database maintenance. And please note, everyone, that we'll be taking up questions at the end of Jaya's presentation. So please keep your questions parked. We'll soon address. So over to you, Jaya, now.
Sure. Thanks, Surabhi, and welcome all of you for today's session. Surabhi, can you confirm that you are able to see my screen?
Yes, I am able to see, and I hope everybody is able to.
All right. So let's get into the presentation. So I have a few slides to cover. So we'll discuss about what issues currently we are all facing. I think few of the in the poll, few of the respondents have given the answers. So there are more issues as well. What you are facing in day-to-day activities. So we'll be touching upon those things, how we can address those through AI/ML. I'll cover a few of the slides on that, and then we'll take a look at our platform, IntelliDB Enterprise Platform, and how we are helping customers with the AI integrated approach to address these issues and to be more proactive. All right. All right. So let's get into the core, I can say, the issues or the amplifying forces, which cause the chaos, right? And it might happen in the daytime, in the nighttime, during the peak load, non-peak load hours, any of these combinations, right? So if you look at unpredictable data growth, which is one of the trigger, which does produces or helps amplifying the chaos and again causing the failures. Now, what do we mean by unpredictable data growth? So it's very simple, right? So this can occur when the data is altered or the data is damaged, and it doesn't throws any errors or it doesn't gives any notifications, or it is not raised by a database or a storage layer, right? So these all go unnoticed, right? It might be a disk failure or a memory error, right, which goes undetected. It might be a faulty SSD, RAID controller, memory issue, or a VM snapshot issue, right, or a query which is returning an incorrect value, but it is not an error, right? So this is very important to understand. There are issues, but they are going undetected, right, or they are not being flagged. It can be your checksums. It can be logical corruption issues, indexes returning wrong pointers, or validations without constraints errors. Those kind of errors, right? Or it can be your primary and replica divergence is the lag, right?
Can
So
we see the full screen, Jaya?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, please put this in the full screen mode.
Yeah. All right. Now, moving on, there might be other issues also when it comes to the storage or the unpredictable data growth. It can be related to your the logs, right? Which is going undetected. There are a lot of issues within the logs, but they're going undetected, right? So those can be a few of the issues. And now, if we look at how AI can fix this, we'll talk in detail, but I'll just give a few pointers with respect to the unpredictable data growth. Now, AI can continuously validate the data behavior It can detect the anomalies behind the checksums. It can look for behaviors, statistical inconsistency. That is where AI can help you, or AI/ML algorithms can help you here. It can help you to correlate the hardware, operating system, DB telemetry, or the corruption patterns. It can help you detect the drifts, the values, in the state transitions, right? Or it can help you in automating the validations. It can also augment you with the intelligence, the other intelligence which we are gathering. It might be at the storage layer, disk layer, or checksums layer. So all these things, when integrated, the AML can be more effective, right? So it can do a semantic detection, right? So those things can be detected here, right? Now moving on to the schema drift, right? So what exactly we mean by schema drift? Now basically, if you look at an example of a schema drift, like a column which is existing in production might not be in staging, right? Or a column data type which was changed manually by one of the DB or developer or any of the tech member working on the database, which has been done manually in production, but those have been not, uh, replicated to the staging, or we're not seeing those values in the staging, or indexes which have been added directly for performance benefit, but those might have been not documented, or we might have missed them documenting, right? Or constraints which are missing in some environments, maybe your foreign key, not null, unique, those kind of constraints, right? Or any of the extensions you are using in Postgres. They have been enabled in one environment, but they have not been, enabled in the other environments. Now, why this causes the chaos, or why this triggers the chaos, is that it can introduce the bugs in the applications during the runtime. It can introduce errors. There can be data inconsistencies. There can be failed deployments, failed rollbacks. Again, it can lead to your compliance issues, performance degradation issues, right? So all these things again will cause chaos, right? Now, how we can mitigate through AI is having a detection pattern, running some sort of a ML algorithm which can help you detect these syntactic differences, right? Which can do risk scoring, which can have a classification like change intent classifications. So all these things combined with AI ML, we can address the schema drift issues as well. Right. So now let's move on to the query plan regression. This is one more trigger, which is a very common trigger. Now, what exactly this means, query regression? I mean, this can occur when there is a fast query which is performing good or performing at the expectation levels, suddenly becomes slow, right? And it can be consuming less resources previously, but now it is consuming more resources after a change, right? Or there might be an index removal, there might be a planner behavior deviation, right? Or a query which is running in 50 milliseconds or 60 milliseconds, now it is taking 5 seconds, right? Or it might be taking more also. So these are all different latency spikes which needs to be detected through the AI/ML algorithms. Maybe the CPU, maybe the spikes, or even if you're doing a switches in terms of the planning from the index scan to the sequential scan, all these things has to be detected. There has to be an anomaly comparison. There has to be flags for any of these deviations in automatic fashion, and there has to be a behavioral pattern learning, or that intelligence has to be built up into the environment through the AI/ML, so that we can address these query regression issues. Now, moving on, we have configuration entropy. Now, what do we mean by configuration entropy, right? So this is basically a gradual or uncontrolled divergence in the database configuration parameters. Now, these parameters can be your kernel parameters like GUC parameters, or they can be parameters in your postgres.conf file, right? So all these different parameters have to be continuously monitored. Continuously, there should be observation layer which is detecting these deviations in an automatic fashion. Again, using the AML algorithms, we can do correlations, who, when, why, what changed, right? What changes have occurred. We can flag those. We can detect the anomaly patterns across these metrics. Now, there are more than 300 plus Postgres metrics or parameters which have to be observed. We should have a layer which can do anomaly pattern detection even before the failures occur. which will get us into a more of a proactive mode, right? So all these things, if you look at holistically, taking an approach of AI/ML to address, unpredictable data growth, or it can be schema drift, it can be query plan regression, configuration entropy, what we just discussed, or a silent, storage corruption, also what we discussed. Now, in coming to the unpredictable data growth, again, you are, unexpectedly, there is a linear or non-linear increase in the database size, in the tables, in the indexes, which can break your capacity planning, right? So you're adding new features, you're logging the changes. There is a lot of data duplication happening. Tables are growing like 5x in 1 week, without much of the schema changes happening, right? And these all are going unnoticed because there is no approach, there is no system in place which is automatically analyzing these patterns and flagging them at the right time, right? It's not able to do that anomaly detection. So all these things, what we are seeing are triggers which will amplify the chaos. And again, they will lead to failures. Even if you have run books, playbooks, those also fail during these issues. And you will be not able to uncontain these issues. Then you will end up in a firefighting scenario. You'll be running back of analyzing the logs. You'll be trying to troubleshoot. You'll try to fix one issue and you see another issue popping up at the same time, right? So again, these are all the a few of the factors or triggers. Just wanted to highlight here, which can cause chaos in your systems, which can cause the failures. Now, moving on, what kind of algorithms we can use, or how we can have a predictive modeling, like using LSTM, right? This is one such model, basically doing time series forecasting. So what it learns all the patterns, temporal patterns, seasonally, whatever the sudden spikes are happening. This kind of ML algorithms can learn those patterns. It can be signals from your CPU, signals from your memory, IO connections, or val size, or it can be from the replication, what you have configured, the replication lag, right? So all these things, once these have been learned, analyzed, then we can come up with a future metric trajectories, or we can form trajectories, or we can come up with a future metric. Okay, this is what we can predict, which can predict like an overload scenario, or a saturation before the outage happens. So this is where we are getting into more of a productive kind of a setup or an environment using these kind of machine learning algorithms, right? Now again, a few examples are like, we can also do cross-metric correlations between the QPS, latency, logs, weights, and the CPU memory IO. We can come up with a stress probability score. We can detect, cascading failure patterns, and then we can flag them proactively, monitor and manage and fix them even before those issues arise, right? We can do anomaly detection. We can do like a silent failure detection. So these are all the algorithms in combination. When we use, we can do, once we find the root cause, we can do the classification using the gradient boosting. This is again a machine learning algorithm which will help you to understand what is the root cause, and how do I classify this root cause. Is it coming from a engineering feature which was changed, or is it coming from a log which has been the information has been captured? So what is the failure class, right? And why this, and how these alerts can be explained when we are raising these alerts to our teams, and how do they interpret? So these ML algorithms again have a deeper impact when we combine them in a multi-model kind of architecture. It can also help you reduce the false positives. So we can come up with alternate validity patterns, right? So all these things are possible when we come up with a system, or when we start thinking, how do I address leveraging these machine learning algorithms. So few of the examples I have taken here. There might be other very good algorithms, machine learning algorithms available, which can help you to learn the dynamic baselines. What kind of, in what day, within the day, what is the time these patterns are occurring, right? And what kind of thresholds I need to set, so that we eliminate those static thresholds which we all we have set in our environment, writing some scripts, using certain tools where it will alert based on certain condition. How do we overcome from a static to more of a dynamic, right? So that is a thought process behind going with these ML algorithms. I just mentioned few. There can be many other machine learning algorithms which you can explore, which can help you, to come up with this framework, which can contribute in your to come up with a better AI/ML integrated layer for your environment. All right. Now, moving on, how do we close this loop, right? So we have these all these machine learning algorithms. We have these AI capabilities. How do we uh, get into a event-driven fabric? Of course, there is a strong detection monitoring capability we have in place, which is able to continuously, watch the database, continuously monitor the applications, the infrastructures for any sort of issues or problems. For example, it might be high CPU, slow queries, or your disk is filling up. So those kind of things has to be detected, has to be monitored. This is the first component. And then once we push this information in an event-driven fabric where it has an intelligence. So event-driven fabric is having an intelligence or a brain of its own, which can decide, okay, what action to take when something goes wrong, right? So for example, there is an index bloat, right? So those have to be detected, and there should be a appropriate action which has to be taken with an impact analysis, right? Then we have Kubernetes, which can help you to automate. You can do the automated controllers part, which can manage your services running on the Kubernetes, right? You can restart the DB, restart the pod, you can scale the replica. So all that traditional stuff, what we are doing with Kubernetes can be again incorporated in the event-driven fabric, right? Then there are serverless functions like, how do we do auto execution of the functions, which is triggered by certain events, what we discussed, right? Running a script when there is a latency spike. Now, how do I, put this as a serverless function? How do I, use my Ansible playbooks, which are having a predefined automation steps? So once I identify index bloat, there is an impact analysis, there is a solution of how do I rebuild those indexes? How do I clean my temporary files, right? So those all can be going part of your Ansible playbooks, right? So all these things, once we combine and orchestrate them and form event-driven fabric with all the monitoring and detection. So what we can achieve is, immense, right? So we can solve these problems coming from slow queries, disk full, or there is some sort of a leak of some sensitive information. All these things can be automated, having an event-driven fabric, possibility architecture where indexes can auto rebuild, partitions can be rotated, auto partition, or automatically we can secure. We can have a automatic audit logs happening, right? Which we do manually as of today. So all these things can be mapped, and we can see a very good impact when we put everything in the loop. We overcome the traditional rules and move more towards dynamic and predictive way of handling these issues, right? Moving on, we have a few use cases here, which I have put up here. So we can see, for example, rapid anomaly detection. So if we are able to achieve this, right? So within the minutes, we can do a cardinality flag, right? Like an indicator which can show how many values or distinct values the column has. It can even, tell, or it can learn what kind of distinct count range is happening. It can come up with the percentage of rows where a column is null. I'm just throwing few examples here, right? Again, the anomaly signal can be like sudden increase or decrease in the percentage of rows where the column is null. This is one such example to do a null ratio, right? Or
Jaya,
which
before you go on with more examples, can I take a minute with you? Here, I have one or two poll questions ready, and maybe in the meantime, if you can check, if you can make the screen full screen. Still, we do not see the full screen of you. In the meantime, I will just ask a few poll questions from the audience, and then you can take up your used cases. Can we do that, Jaya?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Yeah, you can in the meantime check your screen and make it full screen. Yeah, so Everyone, I think Jaya has taken up some time explaining all the capabilities that we have added. We have now, what are those AI-driven capabilities? So now I would want to understand from you which is the AI-driven capability that interests you the most. So my next poll question is related to this. I'm launching it now. We would want to know what interests you the most? Is it automated indexing and tuning, or maybe is it predictive performance maintenance? It's there right in front of your screen. We would want to know from you what interests you the most. Which AI driven capability? Yes. Please register your responses here. Okay, so I've got the response. Most people are saying earlier it was automated indexing and tuning, and then the second option was is predictive performance maintenance. Though there is not too much of difference in the percentages of all the answers almost, but yes, we are getting the maximum response on automated indexing and tuning, and the second one is predictive performance maintenance. Thank you everyone for your responses. My next poll question that I have ready for you is I'm going to launch now. So we are talking about AI here. So my next question is relevant to that. How manual database maintenance, do you think manual database maintenance consume a significant portion of your team's time? Simple. Is it true or false? What people think about this? I hope this is the gap. 100% people are saying that manual database maintenance consumes a significant portion of their team's time. So that's the gap that IntelliDB is filling up, I think. That's how this AI-driven automation will be helping all of you, those who are present here, because we have got 100% people saying the same. So Jaya, over to you. Thanks a lot for giving me 2 minutes for this poll. I think we are better off to understand that everybody is saying that yes, the time taken for manual interventions here with their database management is too much, and everybody wants to reduce that time down. Over to you, Jaya, now.
All right, sure, Surabhi. So I think few couple of use cases are there. I'll quickly walk through and then we can, I'll be presenting you our platform, how do we address all these challenges. All right, so there is autonomous optimization with safety nets. This is one such use case where the latency is exceeding your SLOs, your service level objectives, right? And then, once we have this automatic safety rollback mechanism, the outcome can be more than 3x throughput gains. Let's look at the incidents like reactive teams, like we try to act upon the issues when the incidents happen. Now we can reduce that with a proactive AI augmented team, which means we have the human in the loop, human intelligence along with the AI ML capability. We can reduce those incidents. We can reduce the mean time to recovery, right? All these benefits or the impact we can see having this kind of a framework or this kind of a platform in place within our system to manage, monitor, and tune our databases proactively. Now, the business case or the measurable impact or on the return on investment. So when you try to bring operational efficiency, for example, you have multiple production clusters and you have several incidents, 7 incidents or a P1 kind of incidents, and you are trying to, reduce those incidents. Of course, you are going to save the hours, the engineering hours. That will again, relate to the number of, the amount of money we can save, or the savings we can see, which are these are all again directly correlated, and we will be able to bring in that reduction in the cost, and that will of course have a financial impact or a positive financial impact. And again, we are also reducing the risk, the security risk or the exposure, right? So all these again correlate and they boil down to the financial impact, which will be a positive financial impact. We can also see, how you can enterprises or organization can realize this value and the growth if you can reduce the drop in latency volatility. For example, 67% drop in latency volatility will definitely bring in a lot of savings. If you are able to remove those errors for your capacity planning, if that is accurate, again those errors can be vanished, and we can see efficiency in terms of how the DBA or developers time is consumed, what is the split, where they are focusing more, or they are doing the firefighting, troubleshooting, or they're doing more of a strategic kind of activities. Again, that improves the quality of the resource deployment. All right. Now, how do we proceed from here, right? So what kind of steps you can take within your organization is that you can start with an advisory mode. So you can start analyzing using AI. You can start, getting the recommendations using the AI. Plus, you can have a human DB or a developer or a technical guy in the loop as an operator who is reviewing all these recommendations which are coming from the AI, and then you can start executing. So you can pick on the low risk recommendations, and you can start executing that to see an impact. With a starting with the less budget and having all the safety guardrails in place, you can start with this mode. Once you are through this stage, then you can look at the stage two, where the AI proposes the actions and the human is just approving with a single click, right? Now, this is more faster than the stage one. The executions are more faster, but still we have the human in the loop, in the control, right? And stage three, we can, of course, look at full autonomy, only for the low risk operations, not for the high risk operations. And AI can automatically identify those issues, and in a routine way, it can, fix those low risk tasks, right? And for fixing the low risk task, we don't need a human in the loop. But for those issues which are high priority or high risk, still we can have human in the loop, right? So this is how you can look at how you can adopt with the stages being shown here. Again, you can break this. You can have a 5-stage process, 7-stage process, or you can start with a quarterly kind of a process. But just giving you an idea, how these things can be started within your organization. Now, what we are looking behind AI automation, like how the next gen database should operate. So what we are looking at is a quantum-inspired fabric-wide tuning. Now, this is an inspiration from the quantum computing itself. We are not talking about the quantum hardware as such here, but the principles what are used in the quantum fabric, or how the quantum works. We have been inspired by those ideas. So we are not using the quantum hardware, but we are trying to use that fabric. We are trying to use those algorithms which can be influenced by the quantum ideas. For example, parallel exploration, or it can be probabilistic choices, right? So those are few of the ideas. That is what our platform is heading towards, or what we are envisioning, how the database operations, the next gen database operations should be taken care of. And the whole database ecosystem is what we are talking about. It can be the database engine itself, the number of nodes within the cluster, the replicas. It can be the storage, network, the whole orchestration, process, might be through Kubernetes or any other tools we are using. All this becomes part of the quantum fabric, what we are calling here. Now, the optimization can happen across all these components together. We are not just focusing on one parameter at a time, but parallelly, how do we optimize all these components within my fabric? How do I tune these configurations, not only in the database, but apart from the database layer? It should not be just the indexes or the memory, but how do I achieve the parallelism? How do I, put policies or configure policies for all these different components in the fabric, right? So that is where we are envisioning and we are heading towards with our platform. All right, so let me quickly switch gears, and I'll showcase you a few of the capabilities of our platform. All right. So I think you are able to see my screen so that we can confirm.
Yes, Jaya, we can see.
All right. So far, what we discussed, the challenges, the triggers which causes the chaos, and how we can use AI or ML frameworks. What kind of few of the examples we have seen, what kind of ML algorithms can be utilized. We spoke about the event-driven fabric. How do we orchestrate, combine all these things? And also we saw the impact. If we are able to do this, what kind of impact we can have, positive impact on the financials, or even reducing the operational issues, and making sure our resources are directed towards more strategic for strategic outcomes, right? So now I'm going to walk you through our platform. So the whole platform, what we have built, keeping these issues, and how can we help our customers, organizations achieve that, do that proactive maintenance rather than getting into a reactive mode. So we have AI integrated most of the layers as part of our platform. So these are few of the components, major components of our platform. Like we have Vantage, which will do a real-time monitoring backed with the AI insights. Then we have Cortex, which is kind of the intelligence behind the whole platform, or the brain, which is powered by AI again. Then we have Log IQ, which does helps you doing log analysis, again powered by AI. Then we have Omniscan. This will help you automatically detect all those high risk and low risk issues within your database with few clicks. And then we have Auto Heal, which is a part of the Omniscan, which will help you to fix those issues. Again, having human in the loop. Then we have Unified Audit, again helping you meet those security compliances, which can audit, which can track any DDL, DML, any operations happening on the database. It can happen through the scripts which are run within your team, or through the application. The queries are coming through any ways the queries are reaching or hitting the database. All those are captured, and they have been actively, the audit is happening on those, the tracking is happening on those, along with the compliance framework. And then we have data masking or data redaction, which will help to meet all those compliances. We'll see which all the compliances which will help you to meet. And then we have agentic AI, or AI agent matrix, again, part of the Cortex, which will help you to bring in those capabilities where automatically those agents can understand what is happening with your database. It can come up with the recommendations. It can give you those queries which the team which is in the loop, or the human in the loop, can execute those and see the impact, do the impact analysis and see those impacts. So this is a high overview of our platform. So let me get into the capabilities. So we have, I think we already discussed this. There are a lot of tools which you are using, maybe from different vendors, or you might have created your own scripts which you are using to solve these issues. But still, we are seeing there is a lot of chaos. There is a lot of tool sprawl which is happening. Still, there are threats which are going undetected. Still, these issues become very expensive. They are not fixed and having an impact. So we have spoken on this in detail. Let's get into a few of the aspects of the platform. Now, looking at Vantage, it gives you more than 120 plus live metrics, and this is all happening in a real-time monitoring of the database. These are all real-time metrics backed with the AI recommendations. Cortex, we have more than 12 AI agents, which span and help you from capacity planning to partitioning to issue resolution, maintenance, scheduling, or it can be query tuning, performance tuning. All those aspects are covered. Even compliance check, or you want to look at when to do the maintenance scheduling. So all the agents are geared towards helping and keeping you more proactive. Then we have Iron Dome. This is a SQL firewall, threat protection layer, which can stop the attacks even before those reach the database. So it will stop those all SQL injections or any sort of threats which is posed on the database. So Iron Dome protects proactively for that. Omniscan, it does more than 2,000 plus pattern detection, and based on that, along with the AI, it identifies those issues and gives a comprehensive analysis how you can fix them through the auto heal. And then we have Query IQ, which will help you in tuning the queries. Again, 1,050 plus parameters is what it analyzes. And based on that, it can give you how to rewrite those queries. Again, masking, we have more than 8 strategies like tokenization, hashing, partial masking, all those capabilities are there. Log IQ again will help you analyzing your logs backed up with AI and giving you the recommendation or suggestions. So these are all the capabilities. These are all part of the same platform, which you can implement and be more proactive in terms of your database maintenance or monitoring or management activities of the database. Now, moving ahead, these are the three core pillars where we are focusing on. One is helping the organization or customers achieve peak performance, more of an autonomous mode, more of a proactive mode, and securing or fortifying the security, helping prevent those threats even before happening in real time, right? And everything is again driven by AI, which has a diagnostic, gives you an impact analysis, then human in the loop can go ahead and implement that changes, right? Now, again, this will help you move from the reactive firefighting to a proactive performance architecture. And so let me skip this. We'll move to the AI agents, few of the agents. Let me take examples here. For example, we have a SQL settings optimizer or config analysis AI agent. This will help you to analyze all the parameters which are impacting the databases. It can identify the top 10 priority parameters. It can help you, what should be the values of those parameters, or it can help you tweak the memory parameters or val level parameters, or help you how you can fix those issues by understanding the query planner in a better way, right? Then there is an index recommendation engine, which is again AI driven. It can identify all the missing indexes, or it can even identify for the tables which need indexes, where if you create the indexes, the impact is higher in terms of helping you getting a better performance results. It can give you the actions, it can give you the next steps, and then a human in the loop can execute those on a UAT environment, see the results, and that can be replicated to your production, right? So these are few of the agents. And then we have auto heal. Auto heal again will help you fix those all low risk issues within a few clicks. Again, providing you the rollback capabilities in case those issues are not making that impact and you want to roll back. That option is also provided to you. Now, the remediation actions can come from, it might be related to index, it can be related to vacuuming, bloat reduction, it can be related to query optimization, it can be related to any other parameter which can be a potential impact on the database. So those all things can be suggested, recommended by AutoHeal. With few clicks, you can, or one click, you can fix those issues, not having much of a human intervention for the low risk issues. And then we can defend against the threats in real time, right? So we can achieve the compliance. It can be HIPAA, PCI DSS, GDPR, DPDP, right? Global compliances, or our national compliance, or any other custom specific compliance is there which your organization enterprise need to adhere to. We can customize the rules. We can create the rules so that we meet this compliance, and proactively these threats or these compliance deviations are detected early, notified, and then they can be fixed. So I think I just mentioned about Iron Dome. So this can block all those attacks, might be SQL injections, it can be unauthorized access, data exfiltration, any query trying to fetch sensitive information, which is not allowed to do that. So all these kind of injections, exfiltrations, unauthorized access, these all queries can be blocked in real time and can be noted, audited, alerts can be sent to the respective members of the team who are responsible to take further actions, right? And then we have automated auditing. As I mentioned, we can gather all the information, all the changes selectively. Again, making sure that it is not impacting the performance, because more we start auditing, there will be some sort of overhead on the performance. So making sure that which layer we need to audit, we can audit those things, collect that information, do the anomaly detection there, and that then it can be fed to the AI/ML model, and it can be even ingested in the compliance framework, wherein it can classify whether there's a sensitive information, non-sensitive information. So for example, data masking or data reduction, that is one of the model which will help you to identify all the sensitive columns, and it will only tell you, okay, these are the columns, they are not adhering to this specific compliance framework, and this is the mechanism, or this is how this can be adhered to by doing a partial masking, full masking, or it can be tokenization. So all those algorithms or 8 masking strategies will help you to meet these compliance. And then we have the AI-powered Copilot, again, a combination of AI chat, the log IQ, the Omniscan, all the 12 AI agents together, all these form AI-powered Copilot, and again, geared towards helping reduce your operational overhead from almost like 70 to 80%, again, making you more proactive, right? So this is one such example of AI chat where you can ask questions to the database, you can interact with the database in a natural language, and you can get the responses, get the recommendations. It might be related to performance, backup, tuning, any issues you're facing, or it can be even the knowledge base you're trying to understand certain areas within the database, or you want a developer can ask for a optimized query, and how do I improve my joins, right? How do I reduce the complexity of my joins? So it can be, the AI chat can be used by a business analyst, by a developer, by a DBA. All these personas can leverage this capability. They can interact with the database, get the information. And again, we can have a role-based access for this component. And we can even limit, which user can interact at what level and can see what information the AI is responding, right?
Yeah, thanks, Jaya. Thanks a lot for the presentation. So now, if there are any questions, I think, Manurag, we can open the question and answer session. Please put in your questions in the Q&A session. Are there any questions coming? You can put your questions in the chat also.
Yeah, we have a question from Gaurav Jain. Can you please put some light on the AI-driven features in the security of DB? And the next question is how to integrate AI-driven for a new PostgreSQL DB.
Sure. So let me take the security question. I think we addressed during our initial presentation and the demo. So when we talk about security and specifically AI-driven security, like how better I can do anomaly detection, right? How I can prevent the credential misuse, like it can be my password policies or behavioral fingerprinting, right? Those kind of things. How can I prevent SQL injections, like the Iron Dome capability, what you see in the platform? That is part of the AI-driven, signature-based AML kind of algorithms which are running in the backend, which are doing anomaly detection, which are doing SQL injection detections, and it is blocking those queries. Privilege escalation, data exfiltration, these are all the security areas which can be addressed through the AML, through the examples like Iron Dome, what we saw, through the data masking, data reduction capability, what we saw, insider threat detection, right? So how do we harness that information which is there in our audit, and how do we convert that into intelligence which can help us to do an insider threat detection, right? Which is an example of data exfiltration, which is one of the rule out of the 17 rules, core rules of Iron Dome, what I just showcased you. Or it can be simple RLS like row level access abuse. Again, this can be configured through the native Postgres capability like row level, like RLS, we can do having the Postgres database capability itself. Again, masking, which we discussed. It can be schema tampering like DDL logs, those kind of stuff. So that is for the AI-driven security part. And I think there was a second question. When AI engine will run on the DB instance, will it impact any further performance on the DB? And second question is, sometimes my OS also not properly tuned to support DB. Will it take care of this also? Yeah, so let me take this question from Shailendra Savita. So Shailendra is asking, AI engine will run on DB instance. Will it impact any further performance on the DB? Not exactly, because AI engine is running on its own resources. So the AI platform has its own CPU or memory resources which it is consuming. So it is not making any impact on the database. The second question is, sometimes my OS also not properly tuned. So there are, of course, so we are also monitoring certain parameters which might be an outcome of OS issues. Through our Vantage, what I showcased you, where we are doing monitoring more than key 120 plus metrics. So we are capturing metrics from OS, capturing metrics from disk. We are trying to do some anomaly detection there. If there is any drift within those three layers as well, those parameters will notify us, backed by the AI insights or recommendation, and then you can take action on this.
Jay, there was one question
Yeah.
by Kishan Ramesh, how to integrate this AI-driven for a new PostgreSQL DB.
Yeah, for new PostgreSQL DB, I think initial slides we discussed, right? So you should come up with your AI/ML framework, and you should have your event-driven fabric. What we discussed, that architecture, like a multimodal architecture. So combining all these, you can build such platform, or you can leverage our platform. What I just showed you. It can, so in the connections I did show you, we are able to connect to a open source database also, and to a IntelliDB enterprise database as well. So you can use our platform and you can start implementing this on a new database as well. Of course, more and more data and more queries is fed to the platform. It becomes more intelligent. It learns from those behaviors, and the recommendations will come more optimally. So that is part of the process.
So I think if there are any more questions, you can still put up. Otherwise,
we have a question from Saikat. So are we using AES 256 for encryption, Jaya?
Yeah, we can use this. Of course, this is one of the capability as part of the database platform. So this is a AES 256. It's a strong symmetric encryption algorithm. So, the standard encryption algorithm, we can definitely, we have been implementing this based on case to case. So there are different encryption techniques or methodologies which are employed as part of the platform. Yeah, EAS 256 is also supported in one such security capability.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I think we have had our question and answer round. And thanks a lot, Jaya, for taking this up. And if there are more questions, there are more queries, I would request you to write to us. And before we wrap up, I would like to share something exciting with you all. We have recently created the Delhi PostgreSQL Meetup group with the goal of bringing together database professionals, architects, developers, and enthusiasts to discuss PostgreSQL updates. So if you are on Meetup, it's actually on Meetup group. So we will be planning regular meetups, events, discussions, and knowledge sharing sessions through this group going forward. And I understand that some of you may not be active yet be on Meetup, but over time, I think you would understand that this can become a great platform to connect with the right professional community and stay engaged with the PostgreSQL ecosystem. So Manurag, I would request you to share this link of registration in the Meetup group in the chat, so that everybody, whosoever can join as of now, this meetup group, they can join.
That's done.
Yeah. Now, and I would request you all, I hope, anyways, you must be following us on LinkedIn already. But those who are not following us on LinkedIn, we keep posting our regular updates on LinkedIn. So the next webinars, so this is not just a standalone webinar that we have done. It's a series of webinar that we have started. This is just the first one. If you keep following us on our LinkedIn platform, you will be updated about all our activities and when the next webinar is planned and everything. You will keep getting to know. Manurag, you can share the link to follow us on LinkedIn as well. So any of you, I understand there are a lot of partners and customers in this meeting. So if you have any business use case that you would like us to discuss and explore collaboration opportunities with us, we would love to hear from you. And please feel free to write to us at partner@intellidbenterprise.com. And before we sign off, a quick heads up about our next webinar. As I told you, it's not a standalone webinar. It's a webinar series that we'll be hosting. The next webinar is scheduled for 8th January. This is again a Thursday. It's the same time, 11 to 12. And this will be hosted by our Alliance Manager, Manurag Saxena, where he will be speaking in detail about partnership opportunities with IntelliDB and how partners can earn and scale effectively through our partnership model. And we'll soon share the complete information with you. Keep following us on LinkedIn and Meetup. We would love to see you there as well. Please join us on Meetup. There will be more and more events and discussions coming on that group. We'll keep you informed. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us today and for your active participation. We have seen a lot of interest from you all. It was an active participation. We truly appreciate your time and engagement. Have a great day ahead, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon. Thanks a lot.